Hi, I'm Erin Brothers, Director of Music Ministry at Dixon United Methodist Church. Tomorrow is Gaudete Sunday, the formal name for the third Sunday in Advent. Gaudete is the Latin word for rejoice. In some hymnals, O Come, Emmanuel shows the verse in Latin. Gaude, gaude, Emmanuel, nascetur pro te Israel. Gaude, gaude, Emmanuel nascetur pro te Israel. Ooh, that was low. But does it sound familiar? Rejoice. I would really like to rejoice about something. I'm not always the most positive person. I sometimes let myself get pretty down. This year has had a lot more of those times than any other I can remember. So when I hear O Come, Emmanuel, I can be a little cynical. But honestly, it is one of the best songs ever written. Not just for the season of Advent. We can argue about it later. Jesus is coming, and Israel's waiting. Waiting for rescue, a leader, a counselor, an interpreter, and a clear path to righteousness. My favorite verse is the second. I think the original draw was the word ensign. It seems kind of silly, but having lived as a Navy brat for a good portion of my life, the word stands out to me. In the Navy, if you want to be an officer, that's where you start. Ensign. That's the beginning of your career. But as I've sung it over the years, I've come to realize that though Jesus is indeed a new beginning, that's not what the song means by ensign. O come, thou root of Jesse's tree, an ensign of thy people be. Before thee rulers silent fall, all peoples on thy mercy call. Well, an ensign can also be a banner, a symbol, a standard. In Isaiah 11, verses 1 through 9, we hear this prophecy. A shoot will grow up from the stump of Jesse, a branch will sprout from its roots. The Lord's Spirit will rest upon him, a spirit of wisdom and understanding, a spirit of planning and strength, a spirit of knowledge and fear of the Lord. He will delight in fearing the Lord. He won't judge by appearances, nor decide by hearsay. He will judge the needy with righteousness and decide with equity for those who suffer in the land. He will strike the violent with the rod of his mouth. By the breath of his lips he will kill the wicked. Righteousness will be the belt around his hips, and faithfulness the belt around his waist. The wolf will live with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the young goat. The calf and the young lion will feed together, and a little child will lead them. The cow and the bear will graze. Their young will lie down together, and a lion will eat straw like an ox. A nursing child will play over the snake's hole. Toddlers will reach right over the serpent's den. They won't harm or destroy anywhere on my holy mountain. The earth will surely be filled with the knowledge of the Lord, just as the water covers the sea. A little child will lead them. A little child will lead them to peaceful coexistence with every creature on the earth. And with this little child, the full knowledge of the Lord. So here we are, waiting for this little child to come. We talk often about Jesus coming to die so we could be forgiven. But I think we also forget about why he came, fully alive. He was meant to be an ensign of the people, a symbol of peace and unity to which we should all aspire. A white flag, so to speak, surrendering to God's will that we live lives of equity, faithful protection, and abundant, unconditional love. If Jesus had come simply to die for our sins, there would have been no need to escape Herod. Jesus could have become an infant martyr, and we would still experience God's grace and forgiveness. But that isn't the case. Jesus also lived. He lived so he could make an impact beyond the grave, to teach us what God wanted us to be so that we understood that while we receive God's forgiveness with no strings attached, we should still strive to be worthy of that gift. Truly, Jesus was an ensign, a beautiful, living example of the peace we are meant to pursue. So while we wait for Jesus' birth, let us also be ensigns of God's grace and peace. Let us rejoice.